What's going on, everybody? So we want to get into this wonderful topic of, your mind or your whole temple of God, this whole body being this light energy body. And we need to understand that light condense and it create blood flow, it create bone structure, it create muscular structure, it create nerves and stuff like that. Because what's really happening here really is that we as a spirit that's actually becoming aware of ourselves within this being and things of that nature, we're actually computing all these different natures and we're creating our own individual body, our own individual spirit, our own very own genetic expression, right? So we all have our own relative position within the space and time. We all compute and create our own vibrational sigil that we move through as a spirit to manifest our reactions, our actions, what we're personal into from day to day and stuff like that. So we all have this light body that we created, and this light body play out through many different densities in reality. We have the lighter density, which plays out through our thoughts and feelings, which transliterate not only in our mind, because science lies to you. Science tells you that, you're the brain and the brain controls everything, while really everything is simultaneously working together, right? Like there's no God molecule. Like there's no God molecule. If anything, the God molecule is probably just like nothingness, like something just came from nothing type shit, right? Because darkness itself is the very programmable matter, which things can be lights, consciousness, or whatever you want to call it, spectrums can be carved out of, because it's literally programmable matter and stuff like that. So we use our spirit to sign on this programmable matter our own energy signature to create our own reality. Now, with this being a light body, the light body is just the space here that we control or we use our direct with via our thoughts and feelings, because our thoughts and feelings flow throughout this whole vessel. When you think a thought of fear, when you feel fear, your body creates a stimulus which moves the emotion of fear throughout your body. When you create an awareness or a feeling or a thought of self-love, you begin to feel the stimulus of self-love move throughout your whole body. And literally what's happening here is we have this aura that extends 6 feet and stuff like that, which is actually hilarious because, during COVID, they wanted to make sure that we stand 6 feet apart. So they wanted to make sure that we're standing bubble to bubble. Like literally, like this shit is crazy, bro. So we have this atmosphere around us, this water cycle, this aura that is made up of our thoughts and feelings. And since your chakras are constantly rotating, aka constantly producing energies that we resonate with based on that being the vibrational set point that we have aligned with, we know we have our vibrational set point that we came into this realm with, as far as the vibrational sigil that we fell into from an angle. And then we also have the psychological set point that perhaps unknowingly the people around us put us into, based on, because when you're a child, your mind is open to everything, but this world doesn't want your mind to be open to everything. It wants you to only to be open to its concepts, to its versions of reality. So you can power up this matrix system by, going to the job, just caring and valuing about the things that they tell you to value, and using your mind and body to build the world that they want you to build, rather than you using your mind and body to actually bring about something new. Like, down to even like building the pyramids, that shit, like the slaves was building that shit. It was making people speaking to people, making people do these things, and like providing for these people and all types of shit, because they couldn't create their own version of reality, so they needed someone else's mind to manage their energy for them. Because this is why you have a manager at your job. Because if you have a manager at your job, you're at a job because you're not good at managing your energy, right? That means you're not good at directing your awareness towards avenues that actually yield back returns. Now, when it comes to yielding back returns from your energy work, you have to understand that these things play out through many different densities, right? Someone can begin to feel that, hey, you have a great message, you're sharing something wonderful, I've resonated with you. Bam, that's one way of reciprocation. That's currency, that's the current energy going back and forth and stuff like that. And then things also play out through the air density, the communication, the logic, the thinking, the analyzing and stuff like that. So I might even communicate to you that, hey, you know what, man? I appreciate your message. That was a wonderful message, and that assisted me with dealing with some form of internal conflict, down to even that reciprocation, that currency that you sent out being, bent down into like a square shape or form, where it's just the outcome of what you've been doing, where was just the practicality. It comes to density, like money and stuff like that. But it all comes from creating this value, right? But it's really interesting because we never actually love and value ourselves. We love and value the things of the world, which can become a problem because this is what the shadow government don't want you to understand. Basically, they don't want you to understand that you're supposed to become the devil. That's right, I said it. You're supposed to become the devil. Now, what does that mean? Now, the devil just created its own separate universe from God, but it was ignorant of the law of God. So that kingdom eventually was destined to fall. It wasn't aligned with the universal values. It wasn't aligned with the universal mathematics, with the universal geometrics that allow something to sustain itself forever, right? So all being a devil it just means to separate yourself from a state of mind, because this is why like signs like Aries can appear like the most demonic signs externally, because that was actually the first starting point for separation. Now, what is Aries? Aries is just initiating your own way of seeing things and being passionate about that. Now, since we're in the Matrix, don't nobody want you to see things how you see things. Nah, bitch. You go put that fucking Bible on your lap and you read them Jesus verses that we gave you, because we need you to be in an organized religion. Nah, bitch. We don't need you to see a new way on how to make money. We already got something called a factory, a motherfucking usine in French, factory to work at. So why the fuck we don't need you to do that? We need you to sit the fuck down and integrate into our shit, aka be a good boy. Oh, follow God. God and the devil is the duality of just the same thing, right? But if you don't overcome these retarded mental concepts that these Masons have planted in your mind, you're not gonna be able to create like your own reality, your own mentality, right? Because all the universe is racing to become like its own existence, basically. Like once you become your own being, your own existence, you make it out of the overall source, and you become like another self-sustaining source. Because this is what we're all doing. Like God want to hang out with other gods. God don't want to hang out with no peasants. God don't want to hang out with no fucking retards. Why would God want to look at a retard? No, God want to hang out with people that did what it did. Angels want to hang out with other people that did what it did. And an angel is just something by creating a higher angle to attack your problem. But what we see in modern society is, people motherfucking falling into the trap of fallen angels. Now, what is a fallen angel? A fallen angel is nothing but some form of logic, some form of way of thinking, way of rationalizing things to get back into a desire rather than you separating from the desire, right? Because this is why in occult practice, the knife represents the ability to cut things and stuff like that, right? So you gotta cut your ties to these things that no longer work for you and get rid of these things rather than trying to use the computer energy to compute ways why I should get back into that. Compute ways why you should be fearful and all these things, because those forms don't help you no more. So the mind, the spirit is into all these mental forms that don't allow it to create a new experience and stuff like that. So when you learn to program your light body, your energy body, because right now what's happening is you've really been hijacked, you've really been institutionalized, you've really been trauma bonded, you've really been traumatized into accepting the current paradigm, because it doesn't even yield you anything that is actually a benefit. If anything, you're just depressed, you're just sad, you're just looking to get some type of desire achieved and that type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Real stuff. So, and when you do that, the reward is going to be your energy body, your light body, the consciousness that you're swimming in is going to affect people in mysterious ways. And they're going to look at you like, damn, what the fuck is that? Like, they're not even going to know what to think. They might even literally be scared of you, because now you're exposing them to them, and people don't like to be exposed to themselves. People like to lie to themselves, like I said, use the fallen angel energy signature to lie to themselves so they can be little fucking demon humans and get back into those old desires that are not even taking them fucking anywhere in life. You know what I'm saying? So That's the dangerous thing about it, right? When you overcome your problems, people don't like the shadow government don't want you to become a problem solver. They want to maintain themselves as the problem solvers, but they don't want to give you the baton so you could do that for yourself and you could be an example, right? Unless you're a part of their institution in some way, shape, or form, or shit like that. And if you let them, they'll use your ability, they'll use your talent, they'll use your skill, and because they're already doing this shit. They steal people's talents, they steal people's skills, they steal people's abilities, and they try to give that to people that are in their system so they can replicate and duplicate that and be the face of that. And since they have the support, they have the money for the stages, for the fancy fucking Barack Obama nigga offices and shit, people support that automatically, not knowing that they got that expression from someone else. Like there might be a president, some nigga out there right now watching this video using my own expression to express themselves so they can appear as somebody. But that's never gonna be successful, because when I show up to the scene, people are gonna be like, wait, hold on. But he's doing this way better, and that looked like more like him, and he looked like, because it's just gonna be like, it's gonna look like they're copycat, basically. And you're gonna be able to do that way better than them anyways. They're just gonna look like copycats in the long run. So it's not even gonna matter whatever it is they try to duplicate that you doing. Because really, you just gotta get into your own attributes and characteristics. And when you program these attributes and characteristics into a higher octane nature, because right now we're operating from a pattern of power that may not benefit us, and that pattern of power plays out as far as light, consciousness, awareness that we are into, that we may not be aware of or privy to, just based on us being stuck in this really dense body. So we look at these stimuluses, these blood flows that we generate as something that's normal, but it's really not, because it could be things of fear, worry, doubt, and anxiety. Like you could, like a year ago, I was literally in, how can I call this? Like literally a storm of confusion. Because like, I guess I just didn't know how to make sense out of myself. Basically, this is the practice that is called detaching from unwarranted energies. Because you're attached to all these energies that ain't got nothing to do with you, that are really slowing you down, that's really just some cursed form, some shit that's depleting you and eating the life away from you. And you're supposed to detach from that and attach to some new shit that actually benefits you. So don't look at the emotions that's dwelling within your body, that's rising within your body as normal. If you don't like that feeling, if you don't like that way of seeing things, if you don't like that way of thinking, if you don't like that way of practicalizing, and it's getting you crumbs and it's getting you the least, and you're not manifesting the life that you want to manifest, then you gotta change that automatically. You gotta decide that, hey, I'm gonna move away from these things. I'm gonna move to something new. It's just like moving to new houses, but that's just an allegory to say moving to a new space. And in this new space, you might wanna put your furniture here. You might put your furniture here. You might not wanna have any roommates and stuff like that. People that are constantly smothering your mind and shit like that, telling you, because people are fucking dumb. If you let people will disturb your space. People will disturb your peace. So yeah, man, that's just a little bit on the energy body. It's a little bit on fucking this goddamn light mind that we be in that's condensed into this reality. Because this is my BITCH. I use this fucking flesh suit. And when I'm tired of this fucking flesh suit, I'll fucking rip it apart. And I fucking create something new.